In the world of Hollywood friendships, few bonds have drawn as much public attention as the connection between Blake Lively and Taylor Swift. Both women are admired for their talent and for their ability to remain strong under the spotlight. Their friendship has been a source of fascination for years, and fans often celebrate the way they support one another. When Taylor Swift released her latest album, the reactions came pouring in from all corners of the globe. Among the voices was Blake Lively, whose emotional response caught the eyes of both fans and media outlets. This video will take you inside the story of that response. We will look at the background of their friendship, the release of the album, the way Blake reacted, and how the world responded. We will also examine the role of social media, the weight of public attention, and even the legal aspects that come into play when celebrities are placed under such intense scrutiny. This story is not only about music and friendship, but also about the power of public narratives and the way modern celebrity culture shapes perception. To understand Blake Lively's reaction, we first need to understand the bond she shares with Taylor Swift and why that bond matters to millions of fans across the globe. Blake Lively first became a household name with her role on the television series Gossip Girl. She quickly rose to fame as one of the most stylish and talented stars of her generation. Taylor Swift, on the other hand, began her career as a country music star and grew into a global pop icon whose music touches on themes of love, loss, and resilience. The paths of these two women crossed in the world of celebrity, but what grew from that was not just a casual friendship. It became a meaningful connection that fans adore and media outlets never stop discussing. The friendship between Blake and Taylor began many years ago, and over time it grew stronger. They were often seen attending events together, sharing private moments that were later revealed in interviews, and celebrating milestones in each other's lives. One of the most memorable points in their friendship was when Taylor included Blake's children in her music projects. This gesture showed that their bond extended beyond surface-level appearances and into the realm of trust and family. Fans were delighted whenever the two stars appeared together. Blake was often praised for her down-to-earth nature and for the way she supported Taylor without overshadowing her. Taylor in turn valued Blake's friendship during moments when the music industry placed heavy pressure on her. Their public appearances were marked by joy, laughter, and a sense of genuine support. The media often covered their outings in glowing detail, painting them as two powerful women who stood by each other in a world that often thrives on competition. This positive portrayal strengthened their image as role models for both friendship and professional respect. Over time, however, the very attention that celebrated their bond also created a microscope through which every action was analyzed. When Taylor announced her new album, this microscope turned sharply toward Blake. The reason is simple. Fans and journalists alike wanted to know how Blake would respond. Would she celebrate it loudly? Would she stay quiet? Would her reaction reveal something deeper about the state of their friendship? In celebrity culture, even silence can be interpreted as a statement. This is the environment in which Blake Lively's emotional response began to unfold. Their friendship had become symbolic of loyalty in an industry where loyalty is often tested. For this reason, her reaction to Taylor's album was never going to be seen as just a private matter. It was going to be watched, dissected, and turned into headlines. To understand why it mattered so much, we must look closely at the journey of these two women and how their bond became something larger than themselves when Taylor Swift releases an album the world listens. Her music is not just entertainment, it is a cultural event. Each project she creates is carefully crafted with layers of meaning and storytelling that fans analyze line by line. For many listeners, a Taylor Swift album is more than just a collection of songs. It is a journey through emotions, experiences, and reflections that speak to the lives of millions of people. The anticipation for her most recent album was unlike anything else. Even before the release date, fans speculated about what themes Taylor might explore. Would she write about personal struggles? Would she share stories of love, heartbreak, or growth? Taylor's albums often act as windows into her life, and this creates a deep connection with her audience. Her followers are not just fans of music. They are part of a community that feels close to her through the honesty of her lyrics. The build-up to the album was filled with excitement. Social media buzzed with theories about song titles and hidden clues. Taylor has long been known for leaving Easter eggs in her work. These small details encourage her fans to search for hidden meanings in music videos and album artwork, and even in social media posts leading up to a release. This playful approach to music promotion has become a defining part of her brand. When the album finally dropped, it was immediately embraced by fans around the world. Streaming platforms saw record numbers within hours. Radio stations picked up the tracks, and critics began to publish reviews. Some praised the way Taylor balanced vulnerability with confidence. Others admired her ability to blend different musical styles while still staying true to her core identity as a storyteller. The album was filled with themes that resonated deeply. Listeners found lyrics that spoke about resilience, about the importance of self-worth, and about the challenges of navigating relationships in a public space. These themes touch people on a personal level and spark conversations across platforms. For Blake Lively, the release of this album was not just another pop culture moment. It was the work of her close friend. As someone who had supported Taylor through past challenges and successes, Blake was in a unique position. Fans wanted to know what she thought of the songs, what she felt when she listened to them, and how she chose to share her response with the world. The release of the album also carried a special weight because Taylor has often drawn inspiration from her friendships. Blake has been one of the few friends who played a direct role in Taylor's creative work. For example, Taylor once used the names of Blake and Ryan's children in one of her songs. This connection deepened the personal ties between the two women and gave the public even more reason to wonder how Blake would react to new music. The album's success added another layer to the story. When something this big happens, the reactions of celebrities close to Taylor become part of the narrative. Entertainment media thrives on these moments. A simple message of congratulations or an emotional social media post can become headline news. Blake's emotional response was therefore magnified by the scale of Taylor's achievement. The atmosphere at the time of release was electric. Fans flooded social media with posts sharing their favorite songs and quoting lyrics that spoke to their hearts. Hashtags connected millions of users in conversations that trended for days. Within this storm of excitement, every move from Taylor's inner circle was examined. People were quick to notice who posted support and who remained silent. Blake Lively's voice mattered because it carried authenticity. She was not only a star in her own right, but also a trusted friend of Taylor. When she chose to respond emotionally, it revealed something genuine that could not be ignored. It is important to understand that in celebrity culture, sincerity is rare. Many public statements are carefully managed by teams of agents and managers. But Blake's response was different. It was personal, it was heartfelt, and it connected with fans on a deeper level. The release of the album was more than a milestone in music. It was a turning point that set the stage for how friendships would be perceived in the eyes of the public. For Taylor, it was another triumph in her legendary career. For Blake, it was an emotional moment that placed her in the center of a cultural conversation. This chapter shows why the album mattered, not just for Taylor, but also for everyone around her. With the spotlight shining brighter than ever, the stage was set for Blake's reaction to capture the attention of the world. When Taylor Swift's new album finally reached the ears of fans, one of the most anticipated reactions came from Blake Lively. She was not just another celebrity listening to the music. She was a close friend whose life had become connected to Taylor's art and whose family had already been celebrated in Taylor's songs. This made her response carry a deeper meaning than anyone else's. Blake's reaction was described by many as emotional and heartfelt. She expressed her thoughts in a way that showed her admiration for the music, but also her personal connection to the woman behind it. For Blake, this was not about publicity. It was about friendship. Her response reflected genuine support for Taylor and touched fans who value loyalty in a world where relationships are often shallow and short-lived. When Blake shared her feelings, the moment became headline news. Entertainment outlets quickly captured her words and presented them as proof of the strength of their bond. Social media lit up with fans reposting her response, adding their own comments, and celebrating the way she stood by Taylor. Some even described her message as an example of true friendship in the spotlight. What made Blake's emotional reaction stand out was the honesty behind it. She did not craft a long speech filled with perfect phrases. Instead, she spoke in a natural and heartfelt tone. Her words revealed that she was moved by the themes of the album and that the songs resonated with her on a personal level. For fans, this made her reaction feel real. It was not about fame or image. It was about emotion. This emotional response also reflected the closeness that has always defined their friendship. Blake and Taylor have often been described as sisters in spirit. They celebrate each other's milestones and offer support during difficult times. In an industry where friendships are often tested by jealousy and competition, their connection has remained strong. Blake's words reinforce the idea that she truly values Taylor not just as a superstar, but as a person. The public quickly began to analyze Blake's response. Some fans connected her words to specific songs on the album. Others speculated about whether certain lyrics were inspired by moments in their friendship. The internet thrives on speculation, and so Blake's emotional tone sparked debates and discussions that lasted for days. For many people, this moment reminded them of the human side of celebrity culture. Too often, stars are viewed only as performers. But Blake's reaction showed that behind the fame, there are real relationships, real emotions, and real moments of connection. She reminded the world that Taylor's music is not only art, but also a reflection of shared human experiences that touch even those closest to her. Blake's emotional response also carried symbolic weight. It became a public statement of support during a time when Taylor was once again at the center of global attention. In celebrity culture, standing with someone in their moment of triumph is just as important as standing with them in their struggles. By expressing her feelings, Blake demonstrated that she was there for Taylor not just in private, but also in the public eye. The significance of this moment cannot be overstated. For fans, it offered reassurance that the friendship they had admired for years was still strong. For media outlets, it provided another chapter in the ongoing story of two powerful women who continue to shape modern culture. For Blake herself, it was a chance to celebrate her friend, while also sharing her own emotions in a world that often demands perfection. This emotional response did more than capture headlines. It connected with audiences in a personal way. Fans saw themselves in her reaction. They too felt moved by the songs. They too celebrated the release as more than just an album. And by sharing her feelings, Blake gave them permission to feel even closer to the story. In the end, Blake Lively's response to Taylor Swift's album was not just about words. It was about authenticity. It was about the rare kind of friendship that endures under pressure. It was about showing the world that even in the glittering world of fame, emotions are still real and friendships still matter. When Blake Lively shared her emotional response to Taylor Swift's new album, the reaction from the media was immediate and intense. Headlines appeared within hours, framing her words as a powerful display of friendship. Major entertainment outlets highlighted the sincerity of her support and described the moment as a reminder that true connections still exist in Hollywood. News programs and celebrity talk shows repeated her response and gave it wide coverage. For fans, this was more than just a headline. It was a confirmation that the bond between Blake and Taylor remained strong. Social media platforms erupted with excitement as users reposted Blake's words and added their own feelings. On Twitter, hashtags connected millions of fans who praised her authenticity. On Instagram, fan pages dedicated to both Blake and Taylor shared images of the two friends along with messages of celebration. TikTok users created short videos where they combined clips of Blake and Taylor with audio from the new album to showcase their admiration for friendship. The public reaction also showed how deeply invested audiences are in celebrity relationships. People do not only follow the careers of stars,